How's it going, everyone? What's going on in your life? My name is Ewonopolis. Today we're going to be taking a look at the PS5 Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, which is essentially just a new engine that's running on the PlayStation 5, obviously. Um, I've seen a little bit of this and it is really impressive, but I want to take a little bit of a deeper look at it and sit here with you guys and talk about what I'm thinking so far about this, because this is the first proper look we're getting at something running on the PS5, which I think it is running on PlayStation 5. I don't know if they're saying that it's optimized for PlayStation 5 or if this is running.
I'm Brian Karras, Technical Director of Graphics here at Epic Games.
Hi, I'm Jerome Plateau, Art Director of the Special Project.
A few years ago, we got together as a team and brainstormed where we thought we could push forward state-of-the-art and real-time graphics. There were two key areas that stood out. The first, dynamic global illumination. Beautiful bounce lighting, instantaneously.
Lighting is so important. See, this is the thing where people are saying we're kind of hitting a wall because the PS4 and Xbox One already have great graphics, which there are a lot of games on the consoles that do look fantastic. But there's for sure, we still have a long ways to go because now we're focusing on the smaller aspects of it. And I guess not necessarily smaller, but textures already look fantastic. But things like lighting and animation, you know, the player interacting with the environment, like the way footprints are left behind. Red Dead 2 does that really well. So there's a lot of little things that we can still work on, and lighting is such an important part of that, so I'm glad they're touching on that here.
I don't have to be constrained to do a game where the world has to be static, and I'm able to iterate a lot faster.
And we call this new system Lumen. And we are about to show you what it is capable of. But first, there was another area that we thought we could push forward. Truly virtualized geometry. The artist wouldn't have to be concerned over poly counts, draw calls, or memory. You could directly use film quality assets and bring them straight into the engine.
And that's a big deal for artists. I just want to be able to import my ZBrush model, my photogrammetry scan, my CAD data, without wasting any time optimizing, creating LODs, or even lowering the quality to make it hit frame rate.
In the end, that's what it's all about. Art that just works. And we call this new technology nanite.
That phrase that phrase has been tainted by fucking Todd, okay? You can never say it just works again. That phrase is banned. Fuck.
The future of Unreal Engine running live on a PlayStation 5.
Awesome, let's take a look at it.
This has to be the right way.
Yeah, so it is running on the PlayStation 5. Look at that. My God, the fucking detail in those rocks and the way the light is that looks real. That looks completely real.
Stop a moment and take a look at some of the key features of this demo.
My God.
Quixel Megascan assets, but instead of using the game versions, we use the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each, and thanks to virtual texturing, they all use 8K textures as well. Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly. There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles. What does that many triangles look like? This isn't noise. These are the triangles, each a different color. Most are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels. This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking
wow.
of, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic, with the power of Lumen that even includes multi-bounce global illumination. No light maps, no baking here. Without GI, all of that beautiful lighting is gone. With Lumen enabled, we can move the light and the bounce changes instantly.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's keep going.
Jesus Christ.
We've made some great additions to our audio system as well. Convolution Reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces. Sound field rendering allows us to record and playback spatialized audio.
That sounds so good.
All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
See, when we get to this point, it's going to be harder to make games look better.
Maps was created with our Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
Wow, look at the way the rock is hitting against... That's one thing, too, is, like, often contact between two different things in animation, and it's very hard to pull off, and especially in a game where you're in a dynamic environment where things like that happen, it's really hard to make contact between two objects look realistic, and the way that the rocks were bouncing off the surfaces there looked fantastic. That's really exciting that they're focusing on that. And again, it's all these little things that are going to make such a difference, and eventually we are going to hit a wall where games look completely real, and we're not really going to be able to improve on that. So that's going to make new console generations difficult to achieve. And obviously there can be optimizations for things like frame rate and resolutions, but I mean, if you take a look at that, like if you just looked at that, you'd say that's real. That's insane.
We've also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below.
The water looks great. The water looks a little weird where her feet are touching. Well, water's hard to program though. Any liquid is the same thing. That's very hard to draw.
The demo runs on our chaos physics system. Here we are using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf.
Yeah, wow. The way the scarf like wraps around. That's insane. The dynamics of this are just, it's so impressive. Okay, the sound is fantastic. When that crow came, I could hear it move across, and you know, you hear spatial imaging with games, but it's just getting better and better. I know that was something they talked about a fair bit with the PS5 in that stupid conference that's just supposed to be for developers. I don't know why they did that publicly. They were talking about the audio for the game, where now they're trying to make it more immersive, and that was really good. That sounded very believable.
We've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt. We've added predictive foot placement and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door.
That's promising.
Let's take a look. Wow.
The TI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay.
Nice.
Any light source can move while still having beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light. Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry.
Look at the physics. That is incredible.
Remember we mentioned high poly assets? This statue was imported directly from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles. No baking of normal maps, no authored LODs. And we can do more than a single statue.
You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if when the PS5 is out, they're going to offer this for people to just mess around. That would be really cool if they put this out for you to look at, because YouTube has so much compression that it would be fantastic to be able to experience this yourself. And I will say, actually, I'll talk about that at the end of this video.
There are nearly 500 of that exact statue at the same detail.
There is a little caveat.
Room for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone.
Wow.
Over this entire demo, there are hundreds of billions of triangles.
Hopefully the construction out there isn't too disruptive.
with Nanite, you have limitless geometry, and with Lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global illumination, all running on a PlayStation 5.
Wow. If you, like, there's no way you would have expected that to be running on, like, a home gaming. You could expect a super high-end PC to maybe do this. But the fact that they've got this running on, like, a game console is gonna, like, a lot of people are gonna have it. It's gonna be expensive, mind you. That's just really impressive. The optimization would have to be... I guess they talked about optimizing, though. I don't know how they're having that work.
There's not much time left.
And this doesn't need to be constrained to small rooms. It can stretch all the way to the horizon.
The portal, it's open. Don't fail me now.
Holy shit. Wow, the sound is incredible. Please watch this with headphones on. Oh my god. The headphones that I'm wearing have fantastic imaging already, so I don't know how it's going to sound on something else, but wow.
It's time to see what's next.
Unreal Engine 5. Coming 2021. That's what this says here. Okay. Now there is something that I want to mention. This is running on a PS5. This is an engine that games are going to use. However, I would not say that actual full-fledged games are going to look as good as that, because you can look at tons of engine demonstrations from the past where games have looked amazing and these tech demos have been fantastic, but then the games don't always look as amazing. Now I hope I'm wrong, and I hope, can you imagine if games started using this and like, it's fucking hell, oh my god. I mean, Bethesda needs a new engine. I don't know if they'd use this, but they need a new engine. If they keep using the same one, I'm gonna get really mad. There's so many games that would benefit so greatly from things like that. And the immersion of that audio and the way that the lighting is so dynamic and the textures are designed in a very different way from what we've grown to know from gaming, it's all so impressive. I'm very excited to see what the PlayStation 5 has to offer, because we haven't really seen much of it, and we haven't really seen much of the Xbox Series X either. We're supposed to see gameplay. We did not see any gameplay in that video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. If you did, make sure to subscribe, like it, hit share with your friends. Alright, I'll see you all in the next one. Hope you're all doing well. Have a fantastic day.